Hey everyone. In this video, I'm going to talk about how the Rockies beat the Cubs tonight and how I think it was connected to this Blues Traveler Chicago theme that I had started documenting back in March. It's been a constant theme all year with Blues Traveler in Chicago and how it was interrelated with the television show Roseanne. Dan was following a lot of that stuff too. But first, I'm gonna go. I think I made a video about this old blog post back in March. It was a really good decode, but I'm gonna go over it again, just so you can see the theme and where I'm leading up to it with. I think it'll help a lot where all this started from. Okay, so back in March, uh, my friend and I we were planning a trip to go to Red Rocks in Colorado to see the band Blues Traveler. We'd seen them before in Council Bluffs, Iowa, at the casino Harrah's Stir Cove, and but yeah, we were gonna go to Colorado this summer to see Blues Traveler, and we saw them at Stir Cove, just 39 and 51. We're going to Red Rocks to see them, which was also 39 and 51. Blues Traveler is 83. Colorado is 83. And at the time, I was going through and I was watching all the reruns of Roseanne because I think they just started advertising they were bringing the show back. And I even watched some movies too. But on an episode of Roseanne, John Popper and Blues Traveler were on there. And then I watched the movie Kingpin and Blues Brothers 2000, which Blues Brothers has been a huge theme lately too. Dan's been talking about that. But John Popper, Blues Traveler, was in all of those things too, so it was really synced up for the time to see that. But it also started being connected to me as well. Blues Brothers 2000 was released on February 6th, which is the 37th day of the year. My name, Sam Moore's, is 37 and 125. Roseanne was 37, 44, 125. Kingpin, the movie with Blues Traveler, was 37 and 44. Harrah's, the casino where I saw Blues Traveler, 37 and 44. Chicago is also 37. And that was another important one because at the time I had fairly recently experienced astral projection, which I'm not going to explain or get into what that is if you don't know. But I believe I experienced it at that time, and I thought that I was actually flying over Chicago because it looked a lot like a poster I had when I was a kid, which was a nighttime picture of Chicago with all the skyscrapers and buildings lit up. But on the episode of Roseanne with Blues Traveler, John Goodman's character Dan got on stage and sang the song Sweet Home Chicago. And on the soundtrack to the movie Blues Brothers 2000, the first song was called Born in Chicago, which Born in Chicago is 118, and my name is also 118. Now, and I can't find this anywhere, but the number 91 was important to Chicago somewhere, and I can't find where I had it, and I can't remember what it was. But I always noticed it was interesting because the only time in my life that I've ever even been to Chicago was in the year 1991. So I wish I had more to show you on that, but I can't find it. But anyways, I think you should be starting to see the theme. I kept seeing John Popper, Blues Traveler, everywhere. I had plans to go see them in Colorado, and the place I was going to go see them at synced up with the place that I'd already seen them live at. And now I want to talk about. I'm going to start bringing this in more with the Rockies Cubs game tonight. Uh, let's see, I'll bring this up calculator, but Rockies is 35 and 46. Now keep in mind I'm not using all of these ciphers. I'm only using the Pythagorean methods, which is reduced, reverse reduced, ordinal, and reverse ordinal. So those are the only four we're paying attention to. But I was at work tonight, so I didn't get to see any of the game, and I was thinking about it all night, and I realized the connection between Blues Traveler and Colorado and the Rockies, and I thought, well, it'd be really strange if the Rockies won, and I took my last break at 11:30 at night. So I went to look at my phone because I figured the game would be over. I wanted to see how it went, and I noticed it wasn't over. I think it was in the 12th inning. So I texted Dan. I had to text him and tell him, man, it'd be crazy and it'd perfectly sync up with the Blues Traveler Chicago theme if the Rockies win this game in the 13th inning. And I didn't get off work until 2 in the morning, so I didn't get to see it again. But I went and checked right away as soon as I got off work, and of course the Rockies won in the 13th inning. And that was special because I've been thinking about the last week or so because we've been listening to some radio stations at work that actually play Blues Traveler songs, and I always wondered why don't they play the song "The Mountains Win Again?" Because it was always one of my favorite songs of theirs. And then I thought right away, the Mountains win again, like the Rockies winning. It's one of those famous Blues Traveler songs. Also, I thought, well, that song came out on their album called Four. Like how the game tonight, it went extra 4 innings. And the album Four came out in the year 94. So think about how a baseball game is 9 innings. This one went an extra 4 innings. So it was 9 and 4, kind of like 1994. Here, I got the album right here. September 13th, 1994. And here's something else I wanted to bring up. This might be something to watch for. It may not be anything, but uh, here, I'm gonna find this real. If you find the good box score, I couldn't find one with all the information on it. But if you notice, the losing pitcher was Kyle Hendricks, and let's see here. I know tonight the game is the A's and the Yankees. And yeah, I saw this earlier today, but the A's are doing a bullpen game with their pitching, and their pitcher that they're letting start, his name is Liam Hendricks. So we had Kyle Hendricks losing for the Cubs, and now we have Liam Hendricks who is starting for the A's tonight too. So that may not be anything, but it's worth watching for. See if something goes on with that. But I did also have another strange thing happen with Colorado over the weekend. We have the Apple Fest in town I live in. It's basically just a big car show and uh, get I don't know, there's vendors everywhere and all that stuff, but I met somebody who said she came here from Chicago to see it, and it was her first time coming out ever. So I thought that was really weird that somebody came all the way out from Chicago for this. And of course, it was raining that day, and it was cold, and it was just a miserable day. So it was her first experience, and it was ruined. And what are the odds of me meeting somebody from Chicago and I live about it's probably about a 6 hour drive from Chicago. And what are the odds of me meeting somebody from there when the town is easily probably grows to, from goes from 1,600 people to probably 6 to 8,000, in a day, What are the odds? But I had to show that. I hope I didn't miss anything. I've been thinking about this all night, and there were so many different things, and it was really hard to put together. But I hope I got my point across. Peace.